Tony Hinchcliffe has somehow found himself at the center of yet another controversy, and this time George Floyd's family is publicly responding. During the Kevin Hart Netflix roast, Hinchcliffe reportedly delivered a joke referencing George Floyd.
He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. Place fighting. Like Bill Cosby, Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe. God bless you, Kevin.
That line immediately drew serious backlash, not simply because it was harsh, but because it involved the death of George Floyd, still one of the most painful and consequential public tragedies in recent American history. George Floyd was not a celebrity roast target. He was not on the dais. He was not part of any comedy feud. His death became a defining symbol of police brutality, systemic racism, widespread protest, and deep national trauma. So when his name gets used as a punchline at a Netflix roast, a reaction was always going to follow. According to TMZ, Travis Keynes, a spokesman for the Gianna and George Floyd Foundation, stated that the family and friends of George Floyd were appalled that Tony Hinchcliffe was invited back for another Netflix roast and once again allowed to make a joke at Floyd's expense. They called it damaging to the culture and publicly questioned why Kevin Hart would give Hinchcliffe the green light to go there in the first place. And that is precisely what makes this more complicated for Kevin specifically. Because Tony is Tony. At this point, nobody should be surprised by what Tony Hinchcliffe brings to a roast. He is an insult comic. He hosts Kill Tony. His entire brand is built around saying the things most people in comedy won't touch. He had already generated enormous controversy with the Puerto Rico joke at the Trump rally, and he had already made a joke referencing George Floyd once before at the Tom Brady roast on Netflix. So with Hinchcliffe, the controversy is almost a predictable part of the booking. But Kevin Hart is the face of this roast. His name is on it. He is the person being celebrated, honored, and mocked all at once. And when George Floyd's family directs their criticism at Kevin, what they are really asking is this: why would a black comedian at Kevin Hart's level allow this kind of moment to happen on his platform? That is where the story grows larger than Tony Hinchcliffe. Because for some people, this is a conversation about roast comedy crossing a line it should never cross. But for others, this is about a black superstar allowing a white roast comic to use black pain as comedic material in front of a global Netflix audience.
That, my friend, is what the fuck a roast is supposed to be. It's goddamn hard-hitting, relentless jokes with no consequence. It's the concept of a roast. You go hard or you go home. Shouts out to every comedian that came on that stage because they all understood the assignment, man. Shane Gillis was amazing. Fucking Chelsea Handler was amazing. Pete Davidson, amazing. Naeem Lynn, fucking amazing. Big J. Ogerson, amazing. You saw comics be comics. Cheryl Underwood, fuck. Incredible you are, incredible you were, Cheryl. Holy shit. Cat Williams, insane. The shock factor kept being there. Cat's set was insane. There's no emotions attached to a roast. You get up there, you tell your fucking jokes, and we understand that they're gonna come with some fucking heat, but that's what a roast is supposed to be. Jeff Ross, amazing. Lizzo, Venus, Serena, The Rock, oh my God. DJ was fucking incredible last night. He's in rare form. Usher, the Burn song, so fucking good, man. So goddamn good. Tony Hinchcliffe fucking understood the assignment. Relentless as he always is, but funny.
To be fair, roast comedy has always operated in brutal territory. The entire premise is built around saying terrible things in a controlled, consensual environment. Scandals, divorces, addictions, deaths, personal insecurities,
failed careers, nothing is typically considered off-limits. That has always been the understanding going in. But there is still a meaningful distinction between roasting someone who is present in the room and turning a real man's final moments into a punchline. That is precisely why the family's response carries weight beyond simple offense. They are not just saying the joke was inappropriate, they are saying it was dehumanizing. They are saying George Floyd continues to be treated as an edgy cultural reference rather than a real human being, a man with a family, a daughter, and an entire community that is still actively living with the consequences of what happened to him. The Foundation's statement also reportedly described Hinchcliffe as a racist comedian and posed a direct question to Kevin Hart. How would he feel if the joke had been made about one of his own friends who died? That question is genuinely difficult to dismiss, because comedy looks very different depending on whose pain is being used as the material. It's easy to say it's just a joke when the wound belongs to someone else, but the moment that same joke touches something personal, suddenly everyone develops a much clearer understanding of where the line should be. And that reality has a human face. George Floyd's family has spoken publicly about what the years since his death have actually looked like behind closed doors. The grief that never fully settles, the trauma that resurfaces without warning, the family members still struggling to process a loss that the rest of the world has largely moved on from. That ongoing pain is the context that makes jokes like this land so differently for the people closest to it. Which brings us to the real debate at the center of all of this. Is everything fair game at a roast? There are comedians who would firmly say yes. The argument being that once you begin establishing protected categories, the entire format starts to collapse. If one topic becomes untouchable because it's too painful, the question naturally follows, why are other painful topics still allowed? That is a legitimate tension within the art form. But the opposing position is equally straightforward. The freedom to make a joke does not come with freedom from the reaction it generates. Tony Hinchcliffe can say what he chooses. Netflix can choose to air it. Kevin Hart can sit through it or laugh along. But George Floyd's family also has every right to stand up and say they are disgusted by it. That is not censorship. That is consequence. And those are two very different things. The more significant problem for Hinchcliffe personally is that this is beginning to look less like an isolated moment and more like a pattern. When the same name keeps surfacing in your most controversial material, people stop giving you the benefit of the doubt. They stop reading it as one poorly judged line and start asking why you keep returning to that specific source of pain. And for Kevin Hart, this adds yet another complicated layer to what was supposed to be a major Netflix comedy event. Instead of the conversation being about Kevin, the aftermath has become a running discussion about Tony Hinchcliffe, Pete Davidson, Chelsea Handler, Cat Williams, cut jokes, and now George Floyd's family condemning the entire production. Kevin was the roast subject. He was supposed to be the focal point. But somehow the event itself has become a broader debate about nearly everyone else involved. And perhaps that is the inherent risk of bringing Tony Hinchcliffe into a room like this. He will generate attention. He will produce shareable clips. He will give people something to argue about. But sometimes the argument grows so large that it completely swallows the original event, and nobody ends up talking about what the night was actually supposed to be about.